introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intention is teaching their talk is to broaden their vision, the things they weren't taught when they brought up as children. Reach for the top, regardless of situations, predicaments, or your conditions. He's making history all of the districts, increasing retention from teachers, 50 to 80%. They ain't all that you hear me. He is the mentor. He paved the way with his tip methodology, really. Dream, be persistent, face fears, seek change, go out and go get it. This what you learning with Dr. Joe Griffin. With Dr. Joe Griffin, yeah. He says recognize trauma, push past the pain. If you got a problem, go look at his frame. Work your perspective and look at it change. Find a goal, set it in critical thing. Manage time, self-awareness. These are the few of the things he's trying to get you to do every day. Do every day. Led 5 schools to increase test scores with his teacher principal collaboration. Things he gives to you will have you take you drive to the next level. But first, you need to get some fuel at gas station. Supporting education leaders, creating a culture for kids that'll last for ages. Lack of access to quality professional development, that's outrageous. Got his doctorate in education. Leadership, research, make changes. Need to put the kids first and raise them. Need to teach them they worth, stop playing. Later on, they gon' run this nation. Dr. Joe with his dissertation taught to those who would fix, make changes. I introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intentions. The teaching that talk is to broaden their vision, the things they weren't taught when they brought up as children. Reach for the top, regardless of situations, predicaments, or your conditions. He's making history all of the districts, increasing retention from teachers, 50 to 80%. They ain't all that you hear me. He is the mentor. He paved the way with his dip methodology, really. Dream, be persistent, face fears, seek change, go out and go get it. This what you learning with Dr. Joe Griffin. With Dr. Joe Griffin.
Great day, leaders. Welcome to the Speaking Life and Youth Leadership live stream. I am your host, Dr. Joe Griffin, where we talk leadership dynamics, personal and professional growth, educational trends, and provide solutions to help you with school improvement to create a culture of collaboration. Let's go! Week 34, you all. Week 34 is indeed another great day. So thankful, so blessed, so honored to sit here or stand here or just be here before you. You all, it means really a lot. I thank you all for tuning in each week. I definitely appreciate the support, and I know that we're sharing information that you're putting in your schools and that you're using it because you're letting me know. So I thank you for that. I thank you for that. We're gonna definitely keep that going this week. We got a great episode lined up for you today. As you know, we've been coming the last few weeks from Empowering Educational Communities, a guide for teacher principal collaboration. And we've been just going through the chapters. We've been affirming what we're doing as educators, and as well, we still been giving strategies. As always, we want to always tout strategies. We want to give solutions, opportunities to help you with school improvement. Again, that's why we're here. That's what has us charged to be here. So as we start getting settled in, definitely want to give you a few minutes just to sign in. Let me know where you're streaming in from. That's important. Definitely want you to let us know where you're streaming in from. We appreciate you all. Just each week we try to give information, again, that you can use, that you can implement as a professional in your personal lives as well as in your professional lives. We know that personal development helps to produce professional outcomes, right? So definitely want to think about that at all times. Want to just take a moment to just analyze where you are. Think about what your feelings are. What are your next steps for whatever it is that you have in mind for this week, the rest of the month, And then you want to start thinking about this next quarter. We're almost done with the first quarter of the year. And that's a lot to think about for anybody. So that's whether you're an educator, whether you are just a person in life, whatever it is that you're doing, you want to always be thinking about next step. And with that, I try to always give you an opening talk that relates to not only just school, but also to life, something that we can use, something that we can take that applies to what we do as educators, but also applies to everyone, something that applies to everyone also. I'm a big proponent that real life experiences help us be who we are as professionals, help us to be able to go into these different school spaces, these different workspaces, factory spaces, technology spaces, any spaces that we go in. The work that we put in is going to help us determine what we're able to get out. So just know that during this journey, during the things that you go through, there's purpose in your troubles. There's purpose in your struggles. There's purpose in your pains. We go through things because they provide us experience. Those experiences allow us to provide comfort, support, help, assistance, guidance to those that are coming along with us, as well as those that are coming behind us. So we got a public duty, you all, and I'm totally locked in with it because our purpose is to share. Our purpose is to help one another. We grow with, through other people. So it's critical and crucial that we all the time keep that in mind. And it starts with our self-awareness. We talk about self-awareness a lot. And when you become self-aware, of course, self-development leads to self-awareness, to self-regulation, to self-mastery. But when you get to that point where you are truly self-aware and you realize that you're a piece to the puzzle, you're not the answer to the puzzle, you're the piece to the puzzle, this puzzle of life, this puzzle of teens, this purpose, this puzzle of raising school achievement. We can't do it alone, but through all of that, there's purpose in those troubles. We're to provide comfort to those that come behind us. So, in other words, it's a testimony. When you've had those experiences and it looked like there wasn't a way out, you didn't know what you were going to do in order for the next move to take place, but somehow, some way, you knew that by staying loyal to the cause, by staying purposeful, by staying intentional, that there was purpose in your pain. There was purpose in your struggles. I talk about pushing past pain. And of course, you have to do that in a healthy way. And there are steps to be able to push past pain. But in pushing past pain, you also then start to persist with purpose. And they kind of go hand in hand once you master them. So just keep in mind there's purpose in your troubles. There's purpose in your struggles. There's purpose in your pains. No one is perfect. And perfection is not the goal. We're struggling toward excellence. We're striving toward excellence, trying to be better each and every single day. That's what the strive toward excellence looks like. And that's what we're here to talk about today. So again, just keep in mind, put it in the chat where you're signing in from. I definitely want to know again where you're signing in from, whether you're live or if you catch the recording, because we got some information today that you're going to need, because it's all about being the best. And as we start to think about it, I want to invite you to join the conversation. What do you do every day to ensure that you're striving toward excellence? What are you doing every single day to keep your fire lit so that you're not only working for your why, but you're also working in your purpose? And taking that why toward your purpose is going even a deeper level. And that's what we want to get to. That's what we want to get to. When you get to the point where it's all about empowering other people, where you take yourself out of it, you allow yourself to be open to criticism. Then you understand that you're working in your purpose. You're trying to help the next people, whether they want it or if they don't want it, you still have it for them to be able to go back and get to it. So know that as we on this growth journey, perfection will never occur, but we can always reach toward excellence. All right. So as we get ready to get started with our PD for the night or for the day or for the morning, whenever you're watching, whenever you're catching it, we want to refer back to our 3 sense leadership framework for school improvement. All right. We talk about individuality and diversity help lead to a connection, belonging and acceptance help lead to empowerment, and then commitment and accountability help lead toward collaboration, connection, empowerment, collaboration. So that's the base model that we've been working off of. And we want to break that down just a little bit further into the exact pillars of the collaborative framework. Because again, this is a framework. It's a collaborative framework. So belonging and acceptance. Wow. Just let it sink in for a moment. Because you're talking about now in a group, organization, on a team, wherever it is, belonging occurs because there are systems in place to help me or help the person that's in the situation to feel accepted. And vice versa. Belonging and acceptance work together. They're not the same, but they work together, and vice versa. When acceptance occurs, that means that systems have been put in place to help me feel like I belong. So belonging and acceptance, they go together. And we're going to go through some of the affirmations that go under this particular pillar, you all. I resolve conflicts positively. Put it in the chat, say it loud. I resolve conflicts positively. Say it to yourself, because as a leader, this is definitely a skill that you need to not only work on, but you need to get it to the point where you can affirm it and feel good about it. So knowing that you are able to resolve conflicts positively, that's crucial, you all. And then today, of course, I strive for excellence. Let me hear you say, I strive for excellence. Put it in the chat, say it loud to yourself, whatever you need to do. I know many of you are in the privacy of your own homes. If you need to shout it, shout it. Because I'm talking to somebody. Because you need to know what to do to strive toward excellence. Not just say it, but you also want to be able to be about it. You know, so those are some things that we're going to definitely talk about here today as well. And when you keep going through, I prioritize my emotional well-being. We're going to touch on that next week, prioritizing that and actually putting things in place where we actually do that. Okay. And that's what it's all about. And then, of course, asking for help when I need it. All right. All of that's going to lead to empowerment. All of that's going to lead to empowerment. So again, that's what we're looking at. That's where we are on today. So we come back, and I just want to say, one of the things that you want to do when you are striving for excellence, continue to add tools to your toolbox. When you think you've arrived, when you think you've heard it all, when you think that you're above listening to other professionals and people that have information like you do, that's a problem. Okay. You want to be able to continue to add to your toolbox. Growth is a choice, and it's also a mindset. We talk about growth mindset all the time, but you've got to be willing and able to constantly push that growth button. You know, sometimes you might get in a space where I don't want to grow today. I don't want to learn anything. I don't want to hear anything that betters me. But we got to fight that mentality. We got to discipline ourselves internally so that we can constantly push ourselves to be greater, push ourselves to take in more information. It's a muscle. It's a muscle. So if I feel myself at that threshold where I feel like enough is enough, I'm tired. Now, I don't want to push myself to breakdown, but I want to push myself a little bit further. Each time, each day, I want to push myself a little bit further, a little bit closer to my maximum. Because as a professional, personally and professionally, I want to continue to add to my toolbox. And growth is not comfortable. Growth requires me to get uncomfortable. It requires me to do something that I haven't done before. Otherwise, I'm being complacent. And when we take that mentality, when we live that mentality and understand that really is true, we're able to take our growth to next levels. So by continuing to add to your toolbox, continue to take in information, just continue to be the best you can be. You're gonna definitely add to that intentionality piece. Want to quickly just take a excerpt from the book here. Just add it in. I'm gonna add it to the story. I'm gonna read it also from the book. But I strive for excellence. This the first part of this particular chapter. And you'll notice the quote. If I'm not intentionally growing every year, I should not be here. Wow. I'm gonna let that sink for a minute because somebody needs to hear this. Somebody needs to hear this. If I'm not intentionally growing every year, I should not be here. Now think about the power in that when you have a whole school community that's living that. That means everyone is trying to flourish. Everyone is trying to grow intentionally. And that's the mentality that you want. So by having your leaders, having your educators affirm these thoughts, and then you actually back it up with the talk that you need to show that you're striving for excellence, because the strive is contagious. The strive for excellence is contagious. You don't want to be around other people that's striving for excellence unless you're also doing the same. So again, it's going to cause some people to get uncomfortable. But guess what? That's when growth occurs. So we want to make sure we're pushing everyone to strive for excellence. I didn't read that piece there. Strive, strive, strive. Educators never fully arrive. And it's okay because education is ever evolving and changing to keep up with modern times. Striving for excellence is attainable, whereas perfection is measured solely by perception. How teachers and principals put forth a daily effort to educate students at high levels is a testament to the character that educators are expected to have. Striving for excellence every day is a mindset that includes, but is not limited to, delivering engaging instruction, keeping positive energy in close regard, and keeping a student-centric mindset. With those principles in mind, teachers will consistently have the attitude to always strive for excellence. And then it goes on into a piece about I do owe the students, because we do owe the students our best. We do owe them to continue to add to our toolbox so that we can be better. And in turn, we bring out better in them. Wow. Keep adding to your toolbox to help you be better so that you can therefore help students to also be better. There's power in adding to your toolbox. There's power in attempting to grow, intentionally growing. And if I'm not here to grow, I shouldn't be here. If I'm not intentionally growing every year, I should not be here. Say it loud, you all. So just think about that for a minute. What are you doing to intentionally ensure that you have growth? What are you reading? What are you studying outside of the norm? You know, what are you doing to put yourself in a different realm? How are you showcasing to yourself that you're striving for excellence every single day? You can't take a break. You know, you might take a break, but you can't take a break. Even in your breaks, you still have the mentality that when I come off my rest, I'm still going to be striving for excellence, you all. What are you doing? Let's put it in the chat. Let's have a conversation, you all. Definitely want to hear from you. As we talked about in the beginning, all experiences matter. All experiences are beneficial, and we can grow from each other. We can grow with each other. In fact, we're designed and put here so that we can grow with and through each other. That's collaboration at the highest level. We can do so much more together than we can alone, you all. So again, that's why I tell you I thank you every single week for just tuning in and catching the live stream, participating in the live stream, taking in the information, inputting the systems in your school, because within the system, as we talk about all the time, you got to have the corresponding or the matching mindset. Nothing is able to be implemented without the matching mindset. So it's crucial, it's important that you cultivate and foster the matching mindset of these various systems that we so often talk about inputting in our schools and in our organizations. If you're going to be able to deliver that engaging instruction, if you're going to be able to help teachers move the needle, if you're going to be able to help students be able to elevate themselves. Again, you got to continue to grow. You got to be intentional about your growth. Growth doesn't wait for next year, you all. I talk about this all the time. Growth is not stagnant. Growth, you don't wait for next year's implementation. No. You've got to continue to evolve, continue to grow. Because remember, there's purpose. There's purpose in it. All right. So moving right along with our conversation today. Accountability. You know, we talk about holding ourselves accountability. Remember, it's all about self-awareness as we try to bring out excellence in ourselves that allows us to bring out excellence as well as to empower others. As we continue to bring out excellence in ourselves, that allows us to bring out excellence in and to empower others. So again, accountability is the ally of growth. It's the friend. You say, well, what do you mean, Dr. Joe? How is accountability the ally of growth? All right, first off, we talk about commitment not occurring without accountability, and accountability not taking place without commitment. And I'll take that a step further. That commitment and that accountability equals the growth that you desire in your team. Wow. I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute because I need you to hear. I need you to hear what we're saying right here. The only way that leaders and even teachers can hold other educators as well as students accountable is that there's already a commitment. I can't hold you accountable if you haven't committed to being your best, if you haven't committed to doing the job as a student, if you have not committed to doing the job as a professional. And I'm not saying you signed a contract. That's not the commitment I mean. I mean that you have an internal, integral commitment to wanting to do what you're supposed to do. You have a commitment to yourself, to your school, to your community, and you're going above and beyond to ensure that that commitment is honored. So that is crucial. All right. So with that being said, the accountability piece, the only way that commitment is bona fide or certified or that it is on paper, so to speak, or it's put in stone, is that we have accountability measures in place whereby we can measure that commitment. So commitment and accountability grow together, and accountability is the ally of growth. Wow. So every time you help yourself be held accountable, every time you help your teammate be held accountable, and we're talking about in a loving, in a way in which we fostering growth, you push forward your team concept and you help growth occur. Good evening, Dr. Husser. Good evening. Thanks for joining the live stream. We cooking tonight. We are cooking tonight. And we're talking about growth. We're talking about being intentional. We're talking about striving for excellence. Again, accountability is the ally of growth. So always keep that in mind. Even in those relationships within the school, with your principals and your teachers and your students. And then you got your district level down to your building level leaders. That accountability fosters growth. But again, we got to cultivate that commitment to ensure that all parts are working. We don't have the commitment without the accountability and the accountability without the commitment, and it's all working, right? So we got to ensure that we have things in place in which we're making sure our relationships are positive. We're resolving conflicts. We're striving for excellence. We have a system in which we want everyone to be emotionally well. And that way, they don't mind coming and ask for help. They don't mind coming and ask for support before the breakdown. You see what I'm saying? Before the meltdown. But you got to have systems in place. You got to have a collaborative framework in place. That's why we're talking about belonging and acceptance tonight. And that's how it equates to being able to create an environment in which everyone flourishes and they strive for excellence. That's power in that, you all. That's power. What are you doing every single day to help the people that are around you as well as yourself be accountable. What are you doing to help yourself be accountable? Put it in the chat, you all. Spark the conversation. Again, we're here to grow with and through each other. And the comments that you make, the things that you say, somebody comes back and they might be able to grow from it. We build off of the experiences of others. Remember, at the top of the show, we talked about there being purpose in your struggles. And one of those purposes is to be a testimony and to help others do the same. So definitely do that, you all. Like, comment, subscribe, share. You all like, comment, subscribe, share. If you don't mind, we need to get the information out. We need to get the information out. And we're putting it out every single week. And we know that you're listening. We know that you are following. So we definitely appreciate your time, because you could be anywhere. You could be anywhere. You could be on someone else's live stream, but you choose to be here with Dr. Joe on Sundays. You choose to show up here at some point through the week and watch the recording if you missed it live. And again, if this your first time, make sure you go back. Make sure you look at all 33 shows. I was thinking just yesterday, I said, we put out just about enough information now where a new principal or a veteran principal can come in and reshape their school. Because we got a lot of ideas that as veteran principals, they may have not been privy to. As new and aspiring principals, they may not have had an opportunity to implement some of the suggestions, some of the strategies, some of the things that we have talked about and gone through. We've had a number of guests as well. So again, we're just really, really happy, you all. And we're about to continue, just taking a quick interval to kind of shout some things out. I'll be at CASA this week, California Association of African American Superintendents Association, presenting Empowering Educational Communities, a collaborative framework for equity. So definitely happy to share resources, share information, and to share the collaborative framework with the California Association of African American Superintendents and Administrators. So very happy to be there this Friday. That's the 28th. Got some coaching coming up. Also got to get on the road. And again, if there are things that you need in your school, if you need just a different perspective sometime, don't feel free to reach out. Feel free to reach out. Okay. Let me put my information right up there for you too, because I'm like a sponge and I love to connect. I love networking. I love what we do as educators, you all. And I'll quickly tell a quick story before we keep going, because this was on my mind. I got some coffee. And anyone that really knows me, and I know a lot of people don't really know me, but I was scared of coffee for a long time. And I said I wasn't going to drink it until I was 50. But there was one time I tried it, and I actually drink it sometimes now, like before the show, or if I have something big coming up. I've gotten used to it a little bit. French vanilla latte. So my secretary at the time, administrative assistant, Miss Daly, shout out Miss Daly, love Miss Daly, but she gave me this bit of much of some black coffee. And I drank some of it. My heart got to rumbling. Boom, 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 boom. Fast, you know. I'm talking about, I don't know what's going on. My head, this bald head got to sweating. You can feel the bees coming out. I must have walked that school 10 to 15 times within that hour. And I was scared. But that was my first coffee experience. So whenever I drink a coffee now, I say I did a coffee. I did a coffee today, you all. So definitely hype. All right, let's keep it going, you all. Let's see what we got in the chat there. Good afternoon, Dr. McKeever G. Definitely appreciate you joining. We got off track just a little bit, sharing my coffee experience, but we're gonna get back into the PD for today here right now. So we talked about accountability, being an ally of growth. We talked about continue to add to your toolbox. Now we got to understand that personal development drives professional outcome. Personal development drives professional outcomes. So it kind of goes along with what I tell you all the time about any system, any implementations that you have in, you also have to have the corresponding or the matching mindset to make it work. And too many times, I'm gonna take it a step further, you all, because these are things that I've been thinking about, and I see it when I go to various schools, when I'm working with various districts. You can't just give a professional development and expect it to work, but you have not provided the matching professional mindset development that goes along with it. What do you mean? If I don't have a collaborative environment, if I don't have an environment where we talk about truly collaborating, truly working together, and then putting students in a place or in a position where they can truly work together as well. If that's not our type of environment, when I come around, I'm talking about putting reciprocal teaching and stations in, and peer tutoring and peer and cooperative groups, project-based learning, those things that you get high engagement from and that provide high yields on. That's a problem because you haven't provided the matching mindset. You haven't talked to your educators about the benefit of those things, why it's important, how it's culturally relevant teaching that I allow my students to be in a group here because they're groups at their homes. So they're able to socialize about the work because at home, that's the primary way that they learn, through socializing. So me being able to integrate that within the mindset that accompanies the professional development as an educator, now I'm taking things to the next level. That's what I mean by when I say any system, you've got to also have the matching mindset for it to work. You can have systems all day. You can have implementations all day. You can have professional learning community meetings all day, every day. But if you haven't helped those educators have the matching or corresponding mindset, you're only going to hit a few. But now if I bring that quality personal development to help drive those professional outcomes, guess what? I'm taking myself and my team to the next level. Remember, as I strive to be the best, if I strive to bring the excellence out of myself, that helps me to also and better bring out the excellence and to empower others. That's the name of the game as a leader. That's why we're in the business of education. So it's definitely true. So we got to make sure we keep that mindset. In a system, you got to have a corresponding and matching mindset. Definitely. The coffee gives you a lot of energy. Thank you, Dr. Mesquita G. Truth. All right. So let's keep it going, you all. And when we talk about this growth mindset, when we talk about us continuing to be the best, remember we said, if I'm not intentionally trying to grow, I shouldn't be here. I'm going to let that sink for a minute. If I'm not intentionally trying to grow, why am I at the educational table? Why am I trying to help educators? Why am I trying to help students if you're not intentionally trying to grow? That's a false narrative because as educators, we should be trying to grow. As students, you want them and hope that they're trying to grow. So it's important, all right, that you always create the narrative that we're in this to grow. There is no in between. So a couple of other quick things, you all, as you continue to listen, how are you striving for excellence every single day? I got a couple of things I definitely want you to do. If you have a commitment statement, or if you don't have a commitment statement, definitely draft one. Draft a commitment statement as something actionable that we want you to do. And we want it to center around your strive for excellence. All right. I commit to connect with and empower people. All right. I commit to connect with and empower people. All right. I further commit to strive for excellence in myself because I know that then I can help bring out the excellence and empower others. See, those are samples of a commitment statement. So what's your commitment statement? How are you striving for excellence? What's your statement that you say to yourself to ensure that every single day you're striving for excellence? I think I got froze up there just a minute there, you all. All right. Another thing I want you to do, commit to a new strategy over the next few weeks. No, Dr. Joe. We're about to go into testing. It doesn't matter because you're trying to grow. This is a strategy. Number one, you want it to be a high yielding strategy. I'm not telling you to try something that's not going to provide you high yield, something that's going to give you high yields that you're going to get ROI on, return on investment, something that's going to help the students multiply their student achievement immediately. I've got a couple of strategies that we do. Not I tout them all the time, but what strategy are you going to use? That's a challenge for you. I want you to commit to a new engagement strategy for testing season. And that's whether you're a leader or if you're a teacher. All right, if you're a leader, what signature strategy are you going to implement with your teachers over the next few weeks to help further and better position them for testing season, whether it's end of year test, whether it's ACT test, whatever it is? What strategy are you going to use? Is it going to be the SQR4 method, that helps your students learn how to break down test items? What is it going to be? Is it going to be reciprocal teaching so that you can ensure that over the next few weeks, your reading proficiencies have an opportunity to go up? You might have those bubble kids. You might have those kids that's right there on the edge between basic and proficient. What are you going to do for them? What you have done so far is gotten them where you are, but you got to push them over the hump now. Now you got to push them over the hump, and you got to create a new strategy. They need something new right now. They need something that's engaging, that's energizing, that's going to vibrate them to next levels, right? Yeah. So don't settle now. Don't settle now. We're striving for excellence. When we strive for excellence, remember, we don't just get comfortable with the status quo. You must be able to grow. You must constantly, intentionally grow. What I tell you in the book sequence earlier, if I'm not intentionally growing every year, I should not be here. I might step on somebody's toes with it. I might, but if I'm not intentionally growing every year, I should not be here. Wow. We gotta let that sink in for just a moment, you all, because that one kind of different. That one kind of different. So again, a commitment statement. You're gonna draft one. All right, that's gonna be for you, and then you're gonna commit to a new engagement strategy over the next few weeks so that you can not only grow professionally, but also so your students can have a chance to grow academically. So that's going to be powerful, you all. So again, as leaders, if you don't have that signature strategy, maybe reach out. And we can kind of talk through a few things. Think about the different dynamics at your particular school, because trust me, I'm aware. I've been in enough different schools to understand that all strategies don't work in all schools, but you can make adjustments whereby the strategy will work for you. You can make it where it'll work for you. You just have to do some adjustments. Sometimes you have to set it up a little bit different way, vice versa. Okay. Also got some good information, you all. I want you to reach out. I've just become an affiliate with the new with the program, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about it probably next week. I have a couple of other meetings. Got to finish the official training or what have you, but it's a reading program, and English is my background, so it aligns with our instructional leadership objectives. But it's going to help students be able to read fluently 21 days. I'm gonna say that again, and then of course after the 21 days, there are some critical thinking lessons that help them be able to push the reading to new and next levels also. So we're very happy about that partnership, becoming an affiliate to be able to, again, impact schools, impact society, be able to help others, because our experiences, remember, we can't keep them to ourselves, you all. That was the difference in my committing to this live stream. I had to take myself out of it. I had to say, yeah, on some Sundays, a lot of Sundays, because y'all don't know this, but I'm a true Dallas Cowboys fan. So it just so happened a lot of times during football season, the game would go off at 3, and then it would come on at 6. So I would be able to be right in between those fine lines of either watching it, most of it, and then missing the end, or missing the beginning and watching the rest of it. So again, but with that commitment, and then you start to understand that, wow, people are really listening. People are really drawing inspiration. People are really connecting. People are really becoming empowered. You're actually helping to set up communities of collaboration. And that means something. That means something. It hits different when that is occurring. So want to definitely just thank you all. Just thank you all for that. All right. Again, if you have not taken the Global DNA Leadership Assessment, you need to see me. Dr. Jerry Anderson, she gave a great testimony on what it did for her team and for her school. And we just started it with them. So feel free to go back and watch that segment when she did it live, when she was on with me during one of the live streams or what have you. But there's power in that Global DNA Leadership Assessment. But the thing about it, we have to be open to becoming self-aware. We have to be open to having our own strengths and struggles open and being vulnerable and being able to converse about them, so that, again, we can then better bring out excellence in ourselves, so that we can further bring out excellence in and empower others. That's how you get rid of the ego. That's how you get rid of the fear. Knock it out, because you really are doing a service. You really are doing it for others. And guess what? They need you. They need you. Just like in your school district, those teachers need you. Those students need you. Those parents need you. Those specialists need you. Believe it or not, your district office needs you. Your building level administrator, they need you. Teachers, you're needed. Systemic collaboration. And in order for us to keep going to the next levels, we've got to be inclusive. We talk about including students. We also got to include our adults. Yeah, I'm getting excited again. So I'm going to definitely prepare to bring it down a little bit. Again, make sure you do the commitment statement. I commit to connect with and empower others. I further commit to bringing out the excellence in myself, so that I can bring out the excellence in and empower others. So you definitely want to also think about an engagement strategy that you're going to use in your school. All right. Leaders, it could be motivational. If it's not an instructional, teachers definitely want you to try a new instructional strategy. Hopefully leaders will push it down to you. But if they don't, still it's about growth for you. They don't have to. They don't have to. All right. You have not picked up Empowering Educational Communities, a guide for teacher principal collaboration, please make sure you do so. If you have not picked up the DIP approach for educators, Discipline Culture Plus Instructional Practice Equals Performance, please do so as well. Otherwise, we're going to get ready to end our live for today. Let's continue to learn to love so that we can lead with our heart. Let's continue to search for wisdom so that we can truly work in our purpose. And let's continue to be courageous so that we can drown out fear. Dr. Joe here, y'all. Signing off, always speaking and writing life into you. Have a blessed day.